Hi, friends. This is your pal, Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about American politics. Wait a second, Scott. Why are we talking about American politics today? You ain't talking about American politics in a while. You are correct. So we're in the second 50 of Trump's first 100 of his second term, and I have never seen anything like this. I have a degree in political science, and this is unprecedented. We've never seen anything like this, and the whole world's terrified. Like the stock market's going up and down like a roller coaster. We're in it, man. This is like for realsies, right? And you're like, well, oh, Scott, do you regret voting for Trump now? No. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about what the heck is happening. Like, what is happening right now? And so that is a difficult, extremely difficult question. And not only is it an extremely difficult question, but one of the reasons why I didn't talk about the politics for a while is I needed to process this and understand where we're at. And I think I do. All right. Now, first of all, one of the reasons why I was hesitant to talk is I've been listening to a bunch of people just repeating crap from the news, right? And they're like, oh, well, these tariffs are gonna, what did they say before the election? They're like, these tariffs are, all that's gonna happen is just he'll raise the tariff stuff and then it'll be very expensive for us, and that's all that'll happen. They didn't tell you the part where, like, oh, literally every single leader in the world, except maybe roll a 1d6, and maybe that number, a few world leaders won't come crawling. But all the rest of these world leaders have come crawling and said, please excuse us from these tariffs, right? And that's the part, like, and so how much was each of the concessions that Donald Trump, first of all, do you even know what concessions he got? Right? I think a bunch of them have already been made and were not reported, right? Two, what is the economic value of these concessions? The real answer is nobody knows, right? Like people just do not. The mainstream media doesn't even have, and frankly, no media on the planet has the ability to cover what's happening right now. It is unprecedented. We're seeing changes in the world that have never been seen before, right? What's happening now is truly incredible, and I'm going to explain it in a minute. Just stay with me. But one of the things is the news doesn't know, right? They just keep spouting nonsense confidently, right? But they don't really know. They don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's coming next, including Trump, right? And you're like, well, wait, explain that to me. Why would Trump do all this if he doesn't know what's happening? So first of all, I will tell you what he has done, okay? He has flipped the table, right? We have a table, right? International trade, international diplomacy. We pay for every single European country's defense, right? That was set. That's been a set policy since World War II. They're all like, hey, we can have free health care while America pays for our defense, and then we can mock America for them for doing that, for paying for our defense while we get free health care. Oh, they can't afford free health care because they're paying for their own defense and ours, right? Do you get that? Do you understand? Like, and this is the point, right? So he flipped the table. Like, he has an international trade, international diplomacy, the defense of every European nation, right? All that's up in the air. Nobody knows what's going to happen with any of it, right? Now you're like, well, why would he do this? Why would he just flip the table? Because we were here. You're like, and you're right. You're right. Flipping the table seems extreme. Extreme. That is an extreme response, right? So how would we end up here? President Joseph Biden. He's the worst president we ever had because he wasn't a president. He wasn't making, we know now, like, nobody needs to pretend now. He didn't make a single decision. He was not reading any documents, right? He wasn't signing anything, right? He was literally an old man with a shawl sitting on the porch sipping tea. He was not a real leader, which then begs the question, who was, right? And we'll go back to my favorite explanation. It was a witch, an AI, or an alien, right? Like, that's the only three options, right? Like, I'm telling you, something was leading America, and the answer was extremely dark, right? So dark that I'm happy that the table was flipped. The situation was so bad under Joseph Biden, right? We literally had a term for it, Manchurian candidate, right? He never led for a single day, right? He was not a real leader, which means that something was running America that nobody knew what, right? That's really bad, right? That is so bad that you can flip the table exactly as Trump has done, right? And I need you to understand this, right? Trump is not doing some, like 3D chess, situation. He's saying the system is broken, right? I'm going to flip the table and everybody's going to scramble for the pieces, okay? And you're going to get the pieces and you're going to pick them up and we're all going to rebuild the world. We're all going to rebuild the world together, right? And that is terrifying. This is very, very scary, okay? But if you think for 1 second that this is less scary than a man like pretending to be president who clearly wasn't now, right? He couldn't speak sentences. We had a man for 4 years who could not have a conversation with another person. That is truly terrifying. And that's why we're here now. That's why people are like, yeah, this is bad, but it's not that bad. And so one, you need to understand, when people are telling you what's happening, they generally don't know, okay? We are in free fall. This is a very bad situation. Nobody knows what's going to happen next, okay? But it is better than having a man pretending to be president. And trust and believe that's exactly what was happening with President Biden, in my opinion. He was not president for a single day. That man could not have conversations with another human being, not one, right? He could not have a cohesive conversation. The idea that he was ruling the free world is now ludicrous, right? And we don't need to pretend anymore, right? We are here. It is scary, but it is better than what we had. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider like subscribing and have a fetch millennium.